Yo, it's D.Arthur in the building. I'm talking to you guys today about semen retention. You can't help but feel hot, woman attraction. On semen retention, you cannot help but feel hot. You can't help but feel more attractive about yourself. And the results will come. The main thing is when you go on semen retention and you've actually been putting in work, consistent work on a consistent basis. You've been meditating. You're feeling more present, and you're on purpose mode. You're on purpose. You're sticking to your purpose. You're committing to your purpose, and you're becoming your purpose. You can't feel extra attractive about yourself. And like I said before, the more attractive you feel about yourself, the more attractive you think you are, the more attractive that you're just more present. You're just more in the present moment. More people are going to find you more attractive. This is the bottom line. If you can take anything from this video, the more attractive you feel about yourself, the more present you are doing the things that you have to do, the more in the zone you are, and that's what semen retention enables you to do, the more people are going to find you attractive easily. Now the mistake that people make in general, they're looking around on Instagram. They're following every Instagram girl on Instagram. They're validating them. They're liking every single picture. They're not feeling as quote unquote hot as they can be. See, the thing that you have to realize when it comes to woman attraction, when it comes to any attraction in general, people like people who have their stuff and who are in their own zone. The bottom line is an example. This might be an example. I was walking into a building, and we had someone hold the door open for me. Now obviously this is a polite gesture. So someone did this, and then obviously I said thank you. Doing this, there's somebody else behind that person, and there's someone behind me, and they did the same thing. The person held the door for the woman, and this woman looked, she was more slightly attractive, you could say, and she's probably used to guys bending their backs over for her, being super polite, complimenting her, over validating her, all these things. And so this is a guy who opened the door, and then he kept the door open for the girl, but she didn't say thank you. Now there could be a lot of reasons why this happened. Because I overheard it. Or at least I saw it. So what I made in my mind up is that this girl is probably so used to guys always holding the door open for her, over validating her, over complimenting her, basically over validating her, especially when she really hasn't done anything to deserve it. And she probably felt this, and she might have even felt this as maybe a weak gesture from a man, because she might think in this head, oh, this guy probably doesn't have anything going on. He's trying to win me over by his gestures and all of this. And now people can make the argument that, oh, he was being a gentleman, yada yada yada. Now, there's a fine line. There's a fine line between all this. You can become a gentleman. Being a gentleman is okay, but the point I'm trying to make is when you're becoming a gentleman, when you're just over validating her, being a gentleman, going out your way 24/7, especially when she hasn't deserved it. Now this is where you have to draw the line. The point I am trying to make is there has to be a point where you're in the zone, you feel very good about yourself, you've been crushing things. A lot of men, in society's eyes, they value men based off their accomplishments, their success. As shallow as this may seem, this is how quote unquote men are judged. This is why men who haven't established themselves, who aren't earning a wage for themselves, maybe who are maybe on the street or something like that. In society's eye, people are passing by and they start realizing you got to figure it out. If you're a man, you got to figure it out. There's a million reasons why you can't figure it out. You could make yourself a million reasons why you can't figure it out. You have to adjust. You have to find a way out. Now, the point I'm trying to make is, when you go on semen retention and you're in the zone. I mean, you've been on a streak, no FAP streak, semen retention streak, no PMO streak. You've been consistently hitting your goals. You wake up, you meditate. You might do a little cold shower. Maybe you're in some sort of performance-enabled job or some sort of performance business, and you're hitting your numbers. You're hitting all-time highs in your businesses. You're hitting high numbers. Maybe and you're also in the gym, and you're hitting PRs after PRs, and you're just in the zone. You're feeling like a man. You've been on semen retention for a while. You're super present. You're very happy with yourself. You're happy of the progress that you're making. When you start feeling like this, you can't help but feel more attractive about yourself. Now, what happens when this happens is, now, because you've been putting the work, because you look at yourself a little bit different, because of all the progress you're making, you start treating women a bit differently than the person who hasn't been self-improving. You start treating women just a bit different. You start realizing that maybe they need to prove themselves to me instead of the other way around. Maybe I offer a bit more value than previously thought, and now she has to win myself over. She has to prove herself that she maybe deserves a spot on your team. This is how you start looking at things. Instead of guys breaking in their backs, doing over-validating, over-complimenting, being too nice, especially when she hasn't really done anything, just for the mere fact that she is a woman, you start realizing, like, she has to put in a bit more effort. She has to do a bit more things for me to be impressed. And this is the bottom line. You're not like the 99% of men who are going to over-validate, over-compliment, be super, super available, be super nice, and the mere fact that especially when she hasn't done anything. Now she's done anything and she's proven it. Maybe you give some validation at times, but not all the time. The bottom line is, your validation, she has to feel as if your validation is a second thing to a hit of a very good stimulation in her mind. It has to be a hit of something. It has to be an adrenaline rush. This is why you can't over-validate. This is why you can't be always too available. This is why you can't always be speaking words. You have to keep a mystery about you. It's the only way people are going to start wondering about you. The more she wonders about you, attraction happens when she is thinking about you, when you're not physically with her. You have to leave an impact on her. You have to impact her. You have to make her think. You have to make her be on her toes. You have to kill her ego. A lot of guys, like I said, have, and the bottom line is, the reason how you act like this, a lot of guys don't really have that much to offer. They don't. This all goes in hand with you becoming a higher value person. You don't know that many things. In your free time, you're probably wasting time doing things that just aren't important and isn't going to benefit your life in any way. You're laying around, you're chilling. You're not really doing anything really productive. You're not on top of your purpose. And this correlates with how you see women. This also correlates on how you see your fellow man. The more attentive you are about your life, the more attention to detail you pay attention about your life, the more purposeful you are in everything. The more purposeful you are in everything, the easier it is the better you're going to look at yourself. And now the higher you look at yourself, that's going to correlate based off how you treat other people, how you treat her. Maybe you're not so easily impressed. This is what I'm trying to make. Because guys are bending themselves backwards. And the thing is, like, if you leave an impression on her, it's really hard for you to change that initial impression of her. This is This is the thing that guys don't seem to understand. They're over validating her. They're even if she hasn't deserved it, you're over validating her, you're over complimenting. You're doing all these things just for the mere fact that she is a woman. This is how you were taught to behave. Once you maybe go against the grain, maybe once you are really in your zone, in your bag, start realizing that she might have to do a bit more things in order for me to be impressed. This is because you're becoming higher value. You've seen a lot. You especially if you have experience. You've seen a lot, so now you know the little tricks that some women do when it comes to men and the interaction. Now you're not that easily impressed because you've seen it before. You need to look at something that and you haven't seen before that impresses you, that's enough for you to actually maybe take her serious or something like that. Basically, you can't help but feel very good about yourself, and because you feel very good about yourself, because you have this feeling, this is going to combine and all things that you do. How you meditate, how you go about your business, how you go about your job, how you go about your work, how you go about your gym. You're taking things a lot more seriously, and this is a very good thing because you're on retention, you're hitting your goals consistently, and you're becoming a higher value man. And also the term high value is played around a lot. High value can mean a lot of things, but what it comes down, you can say yourself, you can say that you're a high value person based off maybe the income that you're receiving, or maybe because you are physically capable, or maybe you have a lot of experience with maybe attractive women. You can say that you're high value, but when it comes down to it, high value comes down to your mindset. It comes down to your mindset. We have people who are very wealthy. They're leading with their pockets, and women are taking advantage of them. We have dudes who maybe have less things and actually are maybe succeeding even more because they lead with their mindset. They have good social cues. They have good emotional intelligence. They're not just leading with their pockets. There's guys who are paying $5,000 to fly someone out, and they're still mad that she didn't give him any, and he's getting mad at her. When you have to realize if that's what you're doing and you're leading with your pockets, there's no wonder she's taking advantage of you, because you're not offering anything else to the table. You have to offer more things than just maybe you have to combine. You have to be able to be someone who offers, maybe you offer resources, you're able to do that, and you're also an alpha male who is maybe unpredictable and is also a very spontaneous guy to be with. This is it. It's not a routine anymore. You're becoming someone who is more, like I said, more is accepting yourself every day more and more because of the person you're becoming. And now the way you act is different because you're liking yourself even more. You're just becoming someone who's just becoming more attractive, and this is correlating to all things in your life. So you're gonna feel more attractive. You're gonna feel quote unquote hot, and now it might be a better dynamic between you and her, because you're obviously becoming a higher value person, and now she has no choice but to make herself but to try a bit harder to maybe win you over, if that makes sense. So also, if you watch the entirety of this video, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you comment down below something maybe you learned from this video, and also click on the link below. There is a free presentation that you can watch on how to attract more dates online using the online dating blueprint. This is a proprietary system that I have crafted. It'd be nice for you to check it out and see how you can initially help yourself in the online dating game if you need help with that. Make sure you share the video as well, and we will see you later. Peace.